Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
All right, everyone, welcome to the MCW Cast. This is episode number 37, and I am Tara, joined tonight by...
Director John Rollins.
Oh, you're John. Oh, Deacon Storm. And yes, I am. Still, Deacon Storm. Good to be here.
And for those of you who don't know, you are the voice of our commentary team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do a little play-by-play with my man Brent. So.
That's right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We're
Yeah,
here to talk about our last show, which was the Bruiser Strong show.
Bruiser Strong. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
It's like peek behind the curtain. I wasn't here. The camera. I wasn't here. So for
You
Bruiser
mean
Strong,
the commentary isn't going to be live?
it's not going to be live, but you're not going to be able to tell. It would be just like you're watching a 2.5 hour version of Resurrection. Will be just as energetic. You didn't even know. Not Resurrection, Breakthrough. Sorry. You'd be just as energetic. We'll be doing our thing. So me and Brent, we got this. We're professionals.
Yeah. So for a lot of our fans, they know that we had to change dates around, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when that happens, sometimes the people that you have booked aren't able to make it. So in this particular case, it was our commentary team that we needed to plan around, and they'll be recording that after the fact. So you're right.
That's
Nobody
correct.
will notice. But yeah, we're glad you're here because we have a lot to talk about.
Thank
It was
you.
a great show. It was good to be back, right?
Absolutely. There's the energy from the fans, even energy backstage. It was just great to be there and pay tribute to the legend of RJ Meyer, the Bruiser.
Yeah, this when we all shut down, a year and a half ago, everybody said, "Oh, your first show back is going to be the Bruiser show, right?" And as it turns out, it really couldn't be. We had to do that first Resurrection show because at the time when we were putting the show together, we were told, "Oh, there's going to be capacity restrictions. We don't know. Maybe it'll have to be outside." I mean, there was a lot going on that we didn't know for sure. So we didn't want to book that as the first show. Given that, what if the state athletic commission came back and said, "Hey, you can only have 200 people here," and obviously far more than that showed up to, pay their respects to Bruiser
Standing
and to
room
honor.
only.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are always the best. Those are always the best.
Yeah, it was great to sit up at the top and look out and just see a sea of fans. It felt like home. It felt like the way things were supposed to be, and I feel like he would have been pleased with everyone that came out. But even, I will say, we had a lot of fans, our faithful, diehard MCW fans who were not able to attend because of scheduling conflicts as well. So, you were here with us in spirit, everybody. I know you weren't here, but hopefully you'll be there at our next show, which is... we're going to be talking about that tonight too, which we've got a full lineup coming up for the fall season, of course, as we always do. Autumn Armageddon tour plus some other events.
Always one of my favorite tours. Now, from what I understand, I saw this on Facebook later on in the night. I believe the next show is Shamrock 20.
No,
that's not the next show.
No.
Oh, you know what? I know what it is. We got the Celeb Fest coming up, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Baltimore Celeb Fest.
But that's
too.
that's going to be a part of the Autumn Armageddon tour.
Yeah. Okay, that's exciting to hear.
Yeah, we've talked several times on past episodes about collaborations between other promotions.
Yep.
And here we are actually experiencing that ourselves in a slightly different way, not with another wrestling promotion, so to speak, but another entertainment venue. So this is Celeb Fest 2, which means there's already been a Celeb Fest 1, and there's a Celeb Fest 3 being planned for spring. So this is a wonderful collaborative experience that we can have. So you get the convention experience.
Yep.
You get to meet some stars that you see on TV. We'll be doing a live broadcast of the MCW cast, and then we'll be capping things off with a show that night. So it's really the best of both worlds all in one, and it gives us a newer territory. We haven't been in Millersville before. I mean, I think the closest we've been was probably when we used to do the Fort Meade shows.
Yeah. Now,
Sounds about right. Yeah.
and I will say, the Benfield Sports Center, it's actually made for this. I've been there. I've worked in there a few times. It is almost the perfect venue for a convention, and it's enough room to wrestle in, and it fits all those fans in once you get all those tables out of the way. It's honestly a really good building. So it's going to be a lot of fun down there at Baltimore Celeb Fest. So
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
So you can get tickets to that. The Celeb Fest is separate. So just so you know, they have their own website, BaltimoreCelebFest.com, I believe. And they have different tickets for all the meet and greets that they're doing. They've been adding new stars. And again, they were hit with some scheduling issues as well. Many of the stars that they had booked were AEW, and they've been pulled to do their own events now. So the future Celeb Fest 3 is going to be on a Sunday to prevent any of those things from happening. But, you know, I have to say they're doing a great job replacing stars as fast as they are pulled. And again, that's out of their control. So it is going to be a great event. And you can get that information. I believe we have a link to it too on our website. And so you can find out more about how to get tickets for that.
All right.
All right. Oh, you know what? We have one more thing we have to talk about. So first, we want to thank all of our listeners, our faithful MCW Cast listeners who are listening to us on all the major podcast platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Radio Public, CastBox, and of course, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Thank you all for listening, and not just listening, but subscribing.
Nice.
That was
That was you did that pretty much almost in one breath there, Tara.
Yeah. Well, I tried. John, you do have one more thing to talk about. What is our Flashback Friday this week?
Flashback Friday, we are looking back at the 2007 Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup. It was a qualifying match that would feature Sanjay Dutt taking on Eddie Edwards.
Wow, and how appropriate that you are showing a Flashback Friday that's from a Shamrock qualifying match, because the Shane Shamrock Cup is one of our upcoming shows this fall.
That's right. It's almost like it was planned, Tara.
My forte is segues, so I got that covered. So we will be talking about all of our upcoming dates, but just to throw that out there, the Shane Shamrock Memorial Cup, number 20, will be Friday, November 12th, and that will be held right here in Joppa.
All right.
All right, well, so today we're going to do things a little bit differently. We don't just have one guest, we have 3 guests. We're going to be talking about some of the events that took place at Bruiser Strong and in the Bruiser Rumble. And our first guest that we're going to be bringing in when we return from our short break is actually somebody we've had here before. But I don't believe either of you were here the day that we had him.
I wasn't.
Oh, you seem so excited by that.
I was off camera.
You were here, but off camera, of course.
This is my 3rd time, so I know it wasn't.
All right, I know. But anyway, I am talking about none other than one half of the MCW Tag Team Champions, Joe Keys.
Ooh.
So stay with us, and we'll be right back with Joe Keys.
We hope you're enjoying this week's episode of the MCW Cast. At MCW Pro Wrestling, much like many small businesses throughout the country, the pandemic has presented many challenges. For a company like ours that hosts events with live audiences, the impact has been even more severe, and all of our forms of revenue have been cut off. In order to continue to engage with our fans on a regular basis, we made the decision to begin to produce the MCW Cast, and are providing it for absolutely no cost on Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, and SoundCloud. If you'd like to support us during these challenging times, you can do so in several ways. The most popular way is to buy us a coffee to help fuel the cast. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/MCWcast, and for just $3, you can buy the cast a coffee, or you can choose to become a member of the cast for just $5 a month and receive several special perks. That's buymeacoffee.com/MCWcast. You can also contribute directly on Cash App, MCW Wrestling, or on Venmo, MCW-Wrestling. You can also show your support for the MCW Cast while sporting some great gear by going to teespring.com/stores/MCWcast to pick up a full line of official MCW Cast merchandise, from coffee mugs and face coverings to t-shirts and sweatshirts. Also, don't forget to comment in the threads on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch to get your questions answered on a future episode. And you can also send us a tweet using the hashtag AskMCWCast. Thank you for your support, and now, back to the show.
And we are back, and we are being joined by one half of the MCW Tag Team Champions, Seduce and Destroy, Mr. Joe Keys. Joe, how are you?
I'm fantastic, John. Thank you for having me. Thank you, pulling me away from training to be here this evening. Let's just cut to it. Plugging the show, the Millersville, the Celeb Fest coming up. Seduce and Destroy, me and Bro, we have a big championship match going against former tag champions, Fed Up, and quite honestly, I think the match is bullshit. I know you said you had some post-editing to do, so throw that in there. I think this match is bullshit. The message sent by the booker Dan McDevitt to the locker room and to the students is horrendous. That you can take these two middle-aged day shift bartenders and reward them. Reward them for walking away from the company for 2 years, for not doing anything, like in the wake of RJ's passing. What have they done? They don't come down here to train. They don't come down here to help out with the school. They don't do anything, and they're rewarded with a championship spot. What message does that teach? And granted, years ago, people loved them. I get they were champions. But that was what? 2013? 2012? Before I was even here? Before Bro was even here? We weren't even wrestlers yet. I guarantee if we were around then, they wouldn't have been champions. It would have been a different story. You can't take away that Fed Up was something. And I use that word strongly. Was something. This is 2021. They ain't compared to me and Bro. It's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing to Bro. It's embarrassing to this company that this match is taking place. Look at the characters involved. Bro Keller. He doesn't get enough credit where credit is due. He is a star in the making. If not now, if not within the next few years. But he is going to get the glory he deserves. And you look at me, AEW television, Ring of Honor television, Shamrock Cup winner, 3-time tag champion, 2-time Rage TV champion. The only accolade I don't have in this company is the heavyweight championship, which I guarantee before I quit wrestling altogether, I will have had that on my resume. And that's something nobody in Fed Up can say. Chris had an opportunity. He had an opportunity for a championship match. He was there. And I don't know what he did, if he got up the night before and blew it against Christian York, but that's his life. And I guarantee if he does the same against me and Bro, he's going to get his ass kicked way back into rehab, and then he'll probably quit that again and come seeping for another match. It's disgusting that these two, I can't even say has-beens. I can't even say has-beens because they really never were. In the scheme of MCW, sure, they were something. But MCW was a tiny bubble, which they wouldn't know because they've never left. They've never done TV. They've never wrestled outside the state of Maryland, or maybe as far as their parole officer would let them. But don't laugh.
I'm not laughing.
Don't laugh.
It's just a lot, bro.
You know it's true.
It's just a lot. It's just a
like,
lot.
I get the sense that you've been holding this in for a while, Joe.
I have been holding this in for a while.
I can
'Cause
tell.
the only time I've wrestled them before was years ago in the Dixon line with Robert Locke. And they embarrassed us. They made us look like jackasses. I can't lie.
If that's Bro, you need to take it. We
not
understand. Okay.
Well, I mean,
So-
hold on for a second. I mean, I just want to say this, and you know, I can feel the anger bubbling up from like right here. Like it's almost uncomfortable. And I've known you for a while since I got here, since you got here. So, like she was saying, you've been holding on to this for a long time, and I've been watching you for a long time. You've always had this intensity, but since you got with Bro, that intensity has jumped up, and I'm feeling like this might be the wrong time for this Fed Up situation to happen. Do you agree?
I completely disagree. I completely disagree. And the theme of our upcoming events, and as long as people can remember, is going to be shrouded in the name, what would RJ do? As long as his legacy is still pulsating within us, there's always going to be that thought in the back of our heads, what would RJ do? What would Bruiser do? The Bruiser 100% hated guys like Fed Up, who didn't take this stuff seriously, who lollygagged in, expected a spot on the card, got it, underperformed, left, came back, and did the same thing. Taking the spots of his students, who you know damn well, he invested all of his time, his energy. It's teaching at the school was probably the thing that kept him off of going back to drugs. Like, let's be honest. This was his new fix. And then you got guys like Chris and George showing up and stepping all over that, saying, no, you can't teach us anything. We're fed up. We deserve to be on the card. We deserve a championship match. And that burns me. That burns me here. Like you said, it's boiling down here. That really burns me. Even this whole battle royal that we had, watching all these old guys coming in, all these has-beens from like 15 years ago with their guts hanging out and their T-shirts on, it was disgusting. It was a slap in my face, and it was a slap in RJ Myers' face that these guys are representing him. Because I damn well know RJ didn't like half of them.
Well, now let's talk about that for a second. You mentioned some has-beens. You called them has-beens coming out during that match. And, you know, Rumble or Battle Royal style matches always feature some blasts from the past. So, you know, the fans, I have to be honest. I mean, I don't know. You guys heard them too, right? The biggest pop of the night went to Fed Up when they walked down that ramp during that Rumble. Now, how did that make you feel hearing the fans respond in that way? Is that where some of this is coming from? Some more of this anger?
I've been wrestling in Joppa for 7 years. I've been around the MCW fan base for 7 years, and I get it. I get why they can love Fed Up. They're relatable. They're the most relatable talent that MCW could provide. They can't relate to me and Bro. Look at us. Look at us. Bro is model status. We're athletes. We look like athletes. These guys, T-shirts, beer guts, criminal records, dumpy tattoos. They're one of us. I mean, like you see with Brandon Scott. Brandon Scott looks like one of them too. Like, don't laugh.
No, I'm sorry.
The same thing.
No, I mean you are.
Well,
They are the
You are
equivalent.
absolutely right,
They
yeah.
are the equivalent of somebody from Joppa, Maryland, walking down the guardrail, or walking down the ramp, hopping the guardrail, and saying, "Hey, you guys can do this too. Look, you don't even have to train. You don't have to go to the gym. You can just walk in here. Yay, son!" And there it is. That's all it takes. It's embarrassing. I try and show this to one of my friends on Ring of Honor because, you know, I'm on TV in that locker room. And they're like, "What the hell is that thing?" I'm like, "Oh, that's my opponent coming up." And they can't take me seriously going after that. Like, this is what you get booked against? You wrestled against John Gresham. You wrestled against the Briscoes. You wrestled against Lethal. And now you're wrestling that? And they expect people to pay money to see that? That's a slap in the face. But these fans don't know any better. They don't know any better.
I can't argue with that.
So I can see why they love them.
okay. Well, you know, I think that you've brought some valid concerns to the table, and, you know, maybe, you know, from your perspective, this is how things appear.
Yeah, maybe Dan McDevitt can take his new Marty Mark friend and open the wallet a bit and bring some real talent in here so we don't have to dig up these corpses like Fed Up to face top-tier talent anymore.
Well, if we're going by the booking, then wouldn't you want a little bit of revenge, considering the fact that, and I mean absolutely no disrespect when I say this, Fed Up were the ones who eliminated you from the Rumble. Wouldn't you want to have a little bit of revenge and show people, hey, we're the tag team champions for a reason?
They were. They were the ones who threw us out from the Rumble. You're absolutely correct. They took advantage of us. I mean, if you were watching the Rumble, and again, from my perspective, Bro and I were handling things. There was a lot of guys in the ring at that point. It's hard for 2 to take on 30. Okay, there were at least 30 people in that ring. And they're opportunists. They took advantage of it. Like, good for them. Good for them. I can't blame them. I would have done the same thing. And in the moment, I was emotional. And I ran to the back. I saw red in my eyes. And I can't blame Bro for this. Bro is more level-headed. And I ran up to Dan, and I said, "Give me those ass." I said, "I want them at the next show. I don't want any ands, ifs about it. Let me wrestle them." And I didn't think they would accept it. I didn't think they would accept it. I thought they would be more level-headed and see me and Bro and be like, "No thanks. No, son. This is a one-and-done deal." But no, their hubris took over, and they accepted this match. And again, I can't blame them. I can't blame them. The crowd got to, like you said, biggest eruption of the night. What the hell? I couldn't even believe it. When that crowd gets in your head and you hear them behind you and you hear them cheering, it's an addiction. And you're hooked. And it makes you do stupid things. It makes you do silly things to get that next fix. You can ask Chris about getting a next fix. He knows all about it. And now they want this crowd pop again.
Well, they got it.
So they put their ass in line where it don't belong. And that's the 16th in Millersville.
Well, I want to go back to something that John just mentioned about how Fed Up did eliminate you. Now, do you think that, even though they haven't been around MCW for a while, which you pointed out, but they do have an extensive history of working together. Could that have played a role given the fact that you and Bro have only been together, a few months? And actually, I want to talk about that, how you two came together to become not just a tag team, but to become champions on your first night working together as a tag team. But could, their long-standing relationship, they are brothers, they have grown up together. They have shared lived experiences together. Could that have been something to take into consideration, how they were able to get one over on the two of you, who are the champions? No one's denying that.
Of course, it's something to take in consideration. I mean, we look at the match and what was on the line, and I said it earlier, it's the heavyweight championship. It's the only accolade that I have yet to collect in this company. And it's easy to understand how I would get distracted in going in for myself for a little bit. Like, Bro, I love Bro. I have to trust him with my life, with my career, with my tag titles. But I wanted to add one more that night. Like you said, George and Chris, they had each other's backs because they know they had to. Because they know if they were alone, they get torn apart. I knew Bro could handle himself. I knew I could handle myself. There's 30 other guys in there at that moment. You can look the video back and count them. 30 other human beings in there.
At least. I think at one point there might have been 50 in there.
Probably. Who knows? Then snuck up on me. And they threw me. And it was 100 degrees in there and a lot of fat, sweaty guys. And I grabbed the rope and I slipped. It happens. It happens. It happens and it happened.
We might have to take a closer look at that footage.
You can look at the footage all you want. Look at the footage. There's no need to look at the footage. All right, I was there. It happened. Would I lie to you, Tara?
No. I'm just wondering,
Good, then there's no question about it. I'm the son of a judge.
If anybody else might have slipped, I'm just trying to see if there's a pattern here.
I'm a man of honor, son of a judge. What? I don't lie. Okay, look, moving on.
So moving
on.
So do you think there is a possibility, right, because, you brought up how you're athletes, and we can bring a sports analogy into this, that Fed Up coming back, they have that cohesion, that chemistry, kind of like sports analogy. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players ever, he came back to the Wizards forever later, still took that garbage team to the playoffs. So they were still they were still a level of talent. So do you think in your mind, even though you have these strong feelings emotionally, you are very emotional about how you feel about it, do you think there's a possibility that they could get that back? There's still some time until Slugfest 2. Do you think there's still that chance that they can get that chemistry and cohesion over, you and Bro, spectacular tag team champions, but they've been together way longer than you guys have?
If they put down the beer bottle and head to the gym anytime soon, then maybe they can survive the first 60 seconds. But going back to your basketball analogy, I don't know much about basketball, but there's a new concept going around. They're called super teams.
Right.
And that's why LeBron James is getting hit on his credibility because he built super teams around him. Me and Bro, we're a super team. Individually, we can get to the finals. I think maybe it's competitive, but together, every year.
Rings all day.
Every year. Michael Jordan's took the Wizards to the playoffs. What happened?
Well, yeah, they didn't go to the finals.
They didn't go to the finals.
Hell no.
Well, let's talk about your future with Bro. Now, you're a newly established tag team, and you're the champions. Who do you see as your top competitors? Who do you want to face? I mean, clearly it's not Fed Up. So
No.
who is worthy of Seduce and Destroy?
I think at this point, you would have to reach outside of the company. There's nobody in MCW whom, one, I haven't defeated yet, or two, who's even worthy competition. Like I dropped earlier, Dan and his new Money Mark friend. Open the wallet a little bit. There's other promotions out there. There's a Lee Moriarty kid that's pretty popular. I would love to wrestle him. Get him a partner. There's a Daniel Garcia that's pretty popular out there. Put them together. And there's a competitive match. There's a main event match.
Now, you're not just picking people you would be able to easily beat, are you?
Easily beat. Have you seen these guys wrestle, Tara? I don't think you have. We need top-tier talent in MCW to wrestle MCW's top-tier talent. And it's a redundant statement because me and Bro are top-tier talent, not just in this company, but in this country. And in order for the fans to get their money's worth, they pay X amount of dollars for an expectation for a match. And when they undercut and lowball these fans on price and get them fed up, you're cheating them on money. You're cheating them on an opportunity. There's better teams out there. There's more worthy teams out there. And if that's the one thing I can get out of this interview, it's please book me and Bro Seduce and Destroy against better talent. That's all I ask.
Okay.
That's all I ask.
Well, I think you're definitely going to get a lot out of this interview, to be honest.
All right. Well,
Some fire.
we definitely have heard your words. You seem very strongly opinionated and passionate about this. And, you know, we hear you. We will address your concerns. And, you know, I think that when Fed Up listens to this interview, they're going to be a little upset at some of the things that you've said here tonight. You've brought some personal business out into the air, and, you know, you've had some pretty harsh words that we have to edit out.
again.
But, well, I mean, is that what you're going for?
What I'm going for. If I can do it before the 16th and get a night off, well, then why not? Words are murder, Tara.
Okay. Well, John, do you have anything else for our guests here about
maybe
this
just a
upcoming
little something.
show?
So you obviously, we know your feelings regarding Fed Up and this upcoming matchup, but what about after that?
That's what I'm asking.
The Shamrock Cup's coming up. Is that something that you're looking into?
Oh, that's
or?
always on my mind. That is always on my mind. And I've talked.
I mean, you are a former champion, a Shamrock champion.
It would be a sin not to put me in the tournament. And I've talked to Bro about this. I said, hey, look, man, I'm going to do whatever politicking power I have to get you in a qualifying match. Not against me, because I want to give him, like, a fair chance, if you understand. But the Shamrock Cup, it's been better than me. When I won that, I took off after that. And it's like...
It is often an
they don't
accolade
even have
that
my name-
does
they don't even have
jumpstart
my
careers.
nameplate on this trophy. This is cut off after Dammit Devitt's God Kid and Leo Rush, and then after that, nothing else matters. Because that kid doesn't even wrestle anymore. Neither of Dammit Devitt's God Kids wrestle anymore. Just me. I'm the last one standing. Maybe now my name will get dropped more on this podcast instead of the Stone Cold story for the 60th week in a row.
Hey, at least we know you watch, though.
This is true. Thank you for that support.
Yeah.
Are you one of our coffee club members too, maybe?
I don't drink coffee.
Oh,
I'm not a
okay.
coffee club member. Sorry.
I'm actually not surprised.
All right.
Not
well.
surprised.
All right. Well, Joe, this has been a wildly informative segment, and I have to be honest. When we had you on the show, you know, early on in our programming, we saw a much milder, softer, kinder, gentler Joe Keys. And, you know, this kind of gritty edge that you've brought here tonight, I mean, I have to be honest, I'm intrigued. I mean, I'm kind of questioning some of the comments you've made and whether they were appropriate or not, but I'm kind of intrigued at this edgier side of you.
After being around for 2 shows and seeing how the company's going forward, it's kind of aggravating. It kind of pisses me off, you know what I mean? And having to sitting down and talk about it and relive the moments all over again, it kind of aggravates the hormones, you know what I mean?
I can see.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't really, because I don't
You're
have
getting
the
all-
same hormones
getting
as
all
you.
red in
But,
the
you know,
face.
Yeah,
I
let's say
have
you
a
are turning
pretty
red.
good idea where you're going with that. So, listen, I just want to say thank you, because it seems like you're a busy guy. You know, you're here training and bettering
trying to.
yourself, you know.
Oh, that's a
Yes.
novel idea,
And
right?
so we want to thank you for joining us for this segment. And it's been enlightening, hasn't it, everyone?
Very.
Yes, thank you, Joe. Thank you
Yes.
for coming. Thank you so much.
And, you know, good luck. I mean, you know,
Get to the break bit.
okay. Well, we're headed there to the break. Good luck. October 16th in Millersville at Celeb Fest, Autumn Armageddon. And I'm sure the fans are very intrigued to see you face off against Fed Up.
We hope you're enjoying this week's episode of the MCW Cast. At MCW Pro Wrestling, much like many small businesses throughout the country, the pandemic has presented many challenges. For a company like ours that hosts events with live audiences, the impact has been even more severe, and all of our forms of revenue have been cut off. In order to continue to engage with our fans on a regular basis, we made the decision to begin to produce the MCW Cast and are providing it for absolutely no cost on Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, and SoundCloud. If you'd like to support us during these challenging times, you can do so in several ways. The most popular way is to buy us a coffee to help fuel the cast. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/MCWcast, and for just $3, you can buy the cast a coffee, or you can choose to become a member of the cast for just $5 a month and receive several special perks. That's buymeacoffee.com/MCWcast. You can also contribute directly on Cash App, MCW Wrestling, or on Venmo, MCW-Wrestling. You can also show your support for the MCW Cast while sporting some great gear by going to teespring.com/stores/MCW Cast to pick up a full line of official MCW Cast merchandise, from coffee mugs and face coverings to t-shirts and sweatshirts. Also, don't forget to comment in the threads on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch to get your questions answered on a future episode. And you can also send us a tweet using the hashtag AskMCWCast. Thank you for your support, and now, back to the show.
And welcome back, everybody. Deacon Storm here, along with the director, John Rollins, and the lovely Tara, as we have, after that segment, sitting across from me.
Explosive.
That was crazy. I thought he was going to reach across the table a couple times, but sitting across from myself now and all of us is the highest paid MCW student to ever graduate from MCW Pro Wrestling, the Golden Boy himself, the man with the most fire elbow drop I've seen this side of the Macho Man. Yeah, Miles Hawkins right here.
You haven't lied yet, Deacon.
Thank you.
I feel like you're a fan of Miles.
Well, I mean, you cannot help it. I mean, the guy talks the stuff, but he also walks it.
I have to agree with him.
It's really hard.
When he puts his arm through the ceiling to drop that elbow,
I know.
I'm a fan.
Guys, you could just say I'm good. Like, we get it.
I mean, you are. So how's it going, man?
It's good. You know, Bruiser Strong Rumble.
Yeah.
Great showing. You know,
Yeah.
a few little hiccups here and there. You know.
I heard, because I wasn't there, so I don't know what really happened yet. But you guys.
Well, obviously I didn't win. That was the goal.
I'm sorry.
More gold always is better.
Well, that's the Golden Boy, right?
Golden Boy.
That's what you need.
Need gold
You
all
need
the
the
time.
gold.
I mean, you may not have won, but you had a pretty strong showing, especially against one Action Andretti.
You could have mentioned Drolix, but Action Andretti. This is the one you want to go with.
That was at the Rumble, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Well, we can talk about your matchup at the show before with Drolix. We certainly can talk about that. But
Or that he slapped you, in the back of. Yeah, see, you wanted to bring up Drolix. I'm gonna bring it up.
yeah. He cheap shot at me from the back. That's cool. All right. Action Andretti. That's what you want to talk about? We had a little moment there. We stood off. Two young guys, up-and-coming guys.
both have gone through the MCW Training Center, by the
Yes,
way.
yes. But
I mean, you have a fancy plaque.
I do.
I
do, but he's not the highest paid. He's not the Golden Boy.
This is true.
So,
this is true.
He can do
Okay.
flips. He can wrestle. He's really good in the ring,
Mhm.
but he's not the highest paid. And he's not the Golden Boy. And that's for a reason. So,
Okay.
Well, you said this for a reason, so what's the reason?
Deacon,
Why is,
you've seen my
'Cause
matches.
it's Miles
I mean, I have.
Hawkins.
I get that, but I mean, playing devil's advocate here, I am a fan of you, but I'm also a fan of Andretti, and like I've seen his matches, I've seen your matches. You guys are both really good. So I mean, it's not really anything to take away from. So I mean, it seems like you have a reason why he is not as good as you, other than the fact that he's not Miles Hawkins.
Yeah. So I've been in the training center a little bit longer than Andretti has.
Mhm.
He got on shows before I did. He debuted before I did. So to say that was kind of a, thorn in my side, a sticking point, might have stoked the fire a little bit. It might have gotten me ready for the show. Yeah.
Chip on the
little
shoulder
chip on the
there.
shoulder.
Mm.
Now, being the Golden Boy, highest paid, that might be a little, not a little nudge back at Action, a little shot back at him. But you see, he does a lot of cool things, and I think I can do him a little bit better than he can.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Maybe
See,
not.
I just want to burst into song when I hear that.
I'm trying to get it out of my head now because.
But to me, it's also just this little extra confidence that you have. This little, I'll say arrogance. That I'll say arrogance.
Arrogance.
You come out there with a plaque.
Arrogant.
You're constantly showing it off to the fans.
Also,
Some might let's back up, John.
Okay.
Let's be fair. Some might interpret your confidence and enthusiasm as arrogance. Is that better?
Sure, but I like it.
Okay.
I enjoy
I'm
it.
trying to play the middle
That's what
here.
made me a
I'm
fan of
just
his.
saying
Well-
it may rub some of our fans the wrong way who, do see you as the stellar athlete that you are, but maybe feels like you're looking down at them. I mean, we just had Joe Keys in here who didn't have particularly nice things to say about some of our fans.
At
So
all.
I'm wondering, do you see them the same way that he does?
well, I think they might not have seen true confidence before. They might see it as arrogance, and people who don't know true confidence and see it backed up every day in the ring would perceive it as arrogance. So, if you're not ready for what true confidence looks like, don't call me arrogant. Call me confident.
Okay. All right. That's valid. That's valid. And you didn't insult our fans in saying that, so that's a plus.
You just gave him some good advice.
Yeah.
That's what that sounded like.
Okay.
See, sometimes I like the fans. Sometimes.
Okay.
When they don't cheer me for getting chopped in the back.
Oh, yeah, about that. Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's do it. I got beat up by Drolix again. It happened.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. So, Drolix is like, the OG, he's got a great reputation. He's a no nonsense kind of guy. I mean, he can make or break a young upstart like you.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you first found out you would be facing Drolix?
I thought he had the opportunity of a lifetime.
Oh, wait, that he had the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah, did you not watch the segments with Kim and
I
Nicole?
I
Yeah.
did, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that to the casual observer, that one might think that you, in fact, were the one being given an opportunity of the lifetime.
Oh, I know I'm a legend in making, and Drolix is already a legend. So that was a legend versus legend matchup. Just happened 5 years in advance.
So we just had Rock
That's
Hogan
brilliant.
just out there, is what you're
Okay.
saying, right? Okay.
That is
All right.
brilliant.
Yes,
All right.
Of course.
5 years in the Vance, legend in the making. I like how you're forward thinking and how you're looking ahead to the future. I think that's great.
He calls himself the Golden Boy.
I know.
Of course, he's looking towards the future.
John. That's a name I got in the training center. Everybody else calls me it. I just let it run.
Who gave you that title?
The other training center
Don't even.
students.
No. Don't even try that.
Hey, look, man,
You
nothing-
know I alluded to
Hey, look,
it.
there's nothing wrong with calling yourself the Golden Boy. Oscar De La Hoya did it for years, still doing it. It's nothing wrong with that. But that's more of like you recognizing who you are.
Yes.
So I know, because if you're anything like I think you are, you probably wake up in the morning, you look at yourself in the mirror, you're just like, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Is that
hey,
what you do,
no
Brian?
problem.
Yeah, no.
Actually, well, we're not gonna talk about that
Some days it takes me a while to get dressed because I'm just looking at myself.
because you're just like, damn.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel that.
So close.
Yeah. That's,
So
that's
close.
probably
That's okay.
So
That's
close.
okay.
better
You probably
than
didn't
you.
want to do that anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, let's talk a little bit about your time coming through the training center.
All right.
When did you start? How long were you here?
So
Before you became the highest paid student. Give the
The
fans
journey up-
a brief journey of that.
the journey up to being the Golden Boy.
Yes.
So I started training in September 2019, long time ago.
So exactly 2 years ago.
Exactly 2 years. Yeah.
Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So started off training, ran through the beginners class. Obviously, came out of there in about a month or two. Was about to be on MCW shows really early, probably about 5 months. But then stuff shut down and we couldn't run
The
shows.
global gimmick.
So-
Correct. Yeah, that had to make you mad. Here you were getting this, not being around, but more than a few months, and then already learning that you're going to be getting a little push, and then all of a sudden that was like taken away. I mean, how did you feel when that happened? Were you, kind of upset? Like,
I wouldn't say upset. I'd say more driven
yeah.
because it definitely again, that fire.
Mm-hmm.
People might say I'm arrogant. People might say I have a chip on my shoulder. Now, is it the same chip as Action Andretti or is it a different chip? Maybe there are two.
Ah.
Maybe this one was I should have been on shows earlier. And now being the highest paid graduate is just here, we know we couldn't give you this earlier, but we'll give it to you now. Maybe these are some of the things that make me the Golden Boy,
Ah.
drive me to be as good as I am.
So do you think it was worth the wait then? Andretti getting on the opportunity before you, even though you got here first. Do you think it was worth taking that extra time in the school and just like becoming who you are now?
Being confident, I want to say no.
Okay.
But honestly, I want to say yes. Because that allowed me to really become a more technical wrestler, really hone in who I was, really move differently, become more explosive, and light really that fire again. Like when we shut down, I was a much nicer person. I wasn't as upset. So now I'm taking that chip just into the ring, and that allows me to, hit people a little harder.
Okay. Well, I have to say, when we were shut down, it was a period of uncertainty. We didn't know what was in our future. I mean, we're a contact sport in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes.
That doesn't bode well. But when we were able to reopen the training center safely, you were here every week. You
First
know,
one in.
first one
he
in.
was one of the
Last
first
one
and
out.
one of the
Yeah,
last.
but Action Andretti was showing up too. He was coming in, putting in extra hours on the weekends, So you're talking about your drive. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of wondering, maybe Action's got some drive there too, that he wants to prove himself as well. Maybe he wants to be the highest paid
Don't
student
you like how
graduate.
she's just poking you?
Just poking the bear. Just
I'm
poking the bear.
Just
you know?
saying,
Action would show up, and we would have our little interactions. We would see each other, and those days I might train a little harder. Those days I might be like, hey, I see what you're doing. I can do that. I can do that just as well as you can. There's nothing saying that I can't. I'm a natural-born athlete. Probably a better athlete than you are. But seeing him there is just like, okay, you're working, I'm working.
I mean, he's been compared to the likes of Leo Rush. So, they're natural born athlete. Yes, both of you. But I mean, he's got that comparison being made.
Well, maybe this is a story we've seen before.
Okay.
He's not the only one getting comparisons.
Okay. All right. Well, wow. I mean, I think there's a lot here going on behind the scenes between you and Action. And, I think that this is going to be something that our fans are going to be pretty interested in seeing.
I'm interested. I want to see it.
And
Seriously.
yeah, I mean, what are you doing to prepare to have your moment with Action Andretti? What are some things you're working on? Tell us about the Miles Hawkins mindset right now.
Well, if it ever came down to Action and I standing in the ring, looking across from one another,
Mm-hmm.
first, I got a little bit of size on him. I'm not going to lie about that. And I know he's fast. I know he's really fast. So a lot of cardio, a lot of sprints, really just trying to get faster because I know that one day this is going to happen. It may not be soon. It may be, high up on the shows. It may not. It might be, a throwaway show. Not even a throwaway show, but you know what I mean.
Not on
Birthday.
not on
the home base.
televised.
Not a television. Like a birthday party. Something that fans don't really see. Baby, we just do it just to get out some anger. Training center match.
Okay.
But I know that this is going to happen only because I can't hold it any longer.
Okay.
So are you saying that you're challenging Action Andretti?
I'm not going to
We have Millersville coming up. There's
you do,
that.
October 16th,
See, I'm not going to directly challenge him, but if he wants a fight, he knows where to find me. I'll be in Millersville.
Okay.
If he wants to show up, he can.
All right. Well, going back to the Rumble, you've made your stance on how you feel about Action. One other person that I wanted to ask about, the Rage Television champion Kakoa.
Okay.
The man who eliminated you from the Rumble when you had your attention on Action Andretti,
Mm-hmm.
and Kakoa took advantage and he eliminated you.
Yes. Yes.
Is there maybe something brewing there for you? Something maybe that you're keeping in your back pocket?
I would love to. Yeah, he threw me out of the Rumble. He took away my opportunity to be heavyweight champion. That, I was obviously focused on Action Andretti. I wanted to get him out of the ring first, and then I was going to focus on Kakoa second. Obviously, I was wrong.
Could that hyper focus on Action, though, have been kind of a detriment to you?
It definitely was. It definitely was. It was my first chance in the ring with him,
Mhm.
and it was my chance to prove that I am better than you. I am better than what people think that you are. I can compete with you any day of the week, and I can do it better than you. And that
Wow.
was my downfall. That's why I got thrown out by Kakoa. Action was still in. I was out. If I was focused, it wouldn't happen again.
All right. Wow. Well, I want to ask you about that focus that you have.
Okay.
That I want to talk to you about your drive and your focus and how you conduct yourself here, at the training center. And, you're like you're called the golden boy because you're the go-to guy. Every task that you've been given, you do well. You don't just do it, you do it well. You set the standard really
Yes.
for the other students. Who has been influential in your training and how has that impacted you? And, what drives you from here? Not just Action Andretti. What gives you that?
So before Action, I had our interaction. What was driving me was I wanted to be the best I could be.
Mm-hmm.
People started calling me the golden boy before I truly believed in myself. Then I had to earn it. I had to step in the ring and become that. So I had to be the best that I could be, and then I had to get better.
Okay. Now, had you always planned to be a wrestler? Was this a childhood dream of Miles Hawkins?
So no, it wasn't. The golden boy, surprise, surprise, actually has failed once. I wanted to be a professional baseball player.
Oh, okay.
And I did play college baseball, and I was scouted by both the Padres, the Phillies, and I believe the Orioles. But you might want to cut that, the Orioles. So
All right, so
that
you
would-
want to be a pro ball player. All right, what
That-
happened?
I just didn't make it. Just
Okay.
didn't happen. I didn't have the same drive, the same determination.
Mm-hmm.
After 2-3 years of college, I decided this wasn't what I was going to do, but I still had fun playing.
Yeah.
And I mean, being good, I was good there too. So like that helped a lot. That
Mhm.
helped with just staying in it. But then after I wasn't drafted, I was like, you know what? I want to be a wrestler. I see it on TV.
Mhm.
They're athletic. They're actually, hurting each other, hitting each other, going through physical pain. I can do that.
Were you a wrestling fan?
I was a wrestling fan always.
Okay.
So we would play baseball for 10 months out of the year. February to probably about December is where we would stop. And then those 2 months were Royal Rumble season. And I'm glued to the TV. I can't wait to see what happens next. This is the only time I get to watch wrestling. I'm just going to
Mm-hmm.
sit here and watch everything I can. And we would go to shows. We would see everything. But
Who was your favorite?
that's a long list.
Okay.
Long list.
Wow.
Favorite now? Probably the Macho Man.
Okay.
Probably the Macho Man. And that Deacon is where the elbow
Hey.
comes from.
That makes perfect sense. All right. Was he always your favorite?
He was always high up on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But the respect that I got from him after wrestling
Mhm.
and seeing just how good he is and how good he was went way through the roof. So definitely probably top of the list now.
Wow. All right. Thank you. I'm glad you're giving us a little insight into the
just a
mind of
little bit.
Miles Hawkins.
Just a
Well,
little bit.
that's
Not
what
too-
our listeners want. They love a good fight, but like we also want to know, what's behind, Miles Hawkins. What made you? What brought you here?
what they can try to do to be a golden boy. I understand.
Well, I don't know that anybody's coming to take your spot from you per se, but I
surely
think
hope not.
people are just curious about
you
you.
hope
and
not, or you you can come and try.
Well, they can try. I hope they don't. If they're fans, that would be bad for me.
That is fair. That is fair.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Well, do we have any more questions for the highest paid student graduate of the MCW Training Center, Miles Hawkins?
I have one. How much, and you actually may be able to answer this, how much do you pay the cameraman to start at your feet and pan up on all of your entrances? Like, I can never get anyone to do that for anything.
You don't get entrances.
Well, not for entrances. I mean, for like when I was doing his job, I'm like, yo, just start nothing. So I'm, what's the deal?
We have a special agreement.
Okay, all right.
I can't disclose too much
So I wanted to
information.
know.
I'll disclose it. I'm in their ear. I will yell at them. Start from the bottom. You show the golden boy.
Oh,
You show who he
Well,
is.
there the director's
When
right.
the director is a fan, this is what you
right
get.
damn here.
if we're going to, just tell everybody all the secrets, I told the director to get the shots.
Hey, no matter what's coming from Miles Hawkins, right? That's all that matters.
I'm not saying jack about it now.
All right. Well, Miles, I do have one more question for you. Aside from Action Andretti, who do you see as a foe worthy of your talents here in MCW?
Ooh. I like that question.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. Foes who are worthy. I would say Kakoa.
Mhm.
He might have something coming to him, at least for what he did in the Rumble.
Well, yeah. Little receipt there.
Little receipt. Somebody else is holding something that I want. Something I had an opportunity for, but Kakoa threw me out.
Are we talking about Brian Johnson, the Mecca, the
The
current?
Mecca.
Wow. All right.
MCW
Just go
heavyweight
all the way
champion?
up there. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Since day one, I said I wanted gold, and I wanted to be MCW heavyweight champion. So now, Brian Johnson has it. That puts a little bit of a target on his back in my eyes, a golden target.
Right. Well, at the end of the Rumble, when he held up that banner that said Mecca versus everyone, you're everyone.
I'm not everyone.
You're
I'm
part of.
Miles.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I meant you were part of what he would consider to be everyone.
He might consider me everyone.
Right. So I think there's a differing of opinions here.
Yes,
You probably consider yourself in a different category, but yes, I'm pretty sure he sees you along with everybody else. So
I think he would call me a bozo, and that'd be a bad mistake.
Probably. Yes.
Well,
All right. So, I think that's great. You're setting your sights really high. Two champions, the Rage TV champion, the former Rage former MCW
TV
heavyweight champion and former Rage TV champion Kakoa, and the current champion. We have Mecha Brian Johnson. Like those are pretty good foes there if you're looking to face off against someone and prove to everyone just how great Miles Hawkins is.
While we're on the topic of people, can I throw a name in there real quick?
Yes.
Because I'm not happy
By all
about what
means.
happened in the Rumble.
Uh-oh.
I got dumped on my head
Uh-oh.
by one man who busted his own head open. Ken Dixon. Apparently I have a problem with bald and bearded.
What are you looking at me for?
I don't know. You don't have a beard.
He doesn't have a beard.
I need to beard somebody. But, yeah, I would love to go up against Ken again. He dumped me on my head.
Okay.
That's not how you treat the Golden Boy. I deserve a certain level of respect.
Well, what I know about Ken, you say something like that, that challenge may not be too far off.
All right.
This is
Bring
true.
it. Bring it.
I don't think he's one to back down from a challenge. So it seems like you've got your work cut out for you here at MCW. You've got lots of people that you're willing to take on and challenge, and you're not afraid to, of anyone's reputation or how long they've been here or anything. You see yourself as, an equal opportunist, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Basically, like, no need to work your way up the top if you already feel like you're there.
I mean, if he's the highest paid.
I mean, he's already at the top at that point. So, I
Right.
mean, may as well get the gold to back it off, show it off, sell some T-shirts or
Yeah.
maybe a headband or something. I don't know.
Just more gold.
More
Never
Just
have
more gold.
never have enough gold.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this
Of
segment.
course.
Thank
We're
you.
really looking forward to seeing you at upcoming events. Remember, the next event is Millersville, October 16th. That'll be part of Celeb Fest 2, along with the live MCW cast and our Autumn Armageddon kickoff show that evening.
There you go.
All right. Well,
Good.
thank you, Miles. We
Thank
will
you.
Thank you.
take a break, and we will be back with another guest here tonight on the MCW cast.
All right.
We hope you're enjoying this week's episode of the MCW Cast. At MCW Pro Wrestling, much like many small businesses throughout the country, the pandemic has presented many challenges. For a company like ours that hosts events with live audiences, the impact has been even more severe, and all of our forms of revenue have been cut off. In order to continue to engage with our fans on a regular basis, we made the decision to begin to produce the MCW Cast and are providing it for absolutely no cost on Facebook Live, Twitch, YouTube, and SoundCloud. If you'd like to support us during these challenging times, you can do so in several ways. The most popular way is to buy us a coffee to help fuel the cast. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/MCWcast, and for just $3, you can buy the cast a coffee, or you can choose to become a member of the cast for just $5 a month and receive several special perks. That's buymeacoffee.com/MCWcast. You can also contribute directly on Cash App, MCW Wrestling, or on Venmo, MCW-Wrestling. You can also show your support for the MCW cast while sporting some great gear by going to teespring.com/stores/MCWcast to pick up a full line of official MCW cast merchandise, from coffee mugs and face coverings to t-shirts and sweatshirts. Also, don't forget to comment in the threads on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch to get your questions answered on a future episode. And you can also send us a tweet using the hashtag AskMCWcast. Thank you for your support, and now, back to the show.
Hey, everybody, once again, welcome back to the MCW Cast. Deacon Storm, John Rollins, the director, the lovely Tara. We are sitting here with this guy, the man,
Hey,
Action Andretti. Every time you're out there and I'm doing commentary, man, like, I'm left speechless.
dude. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
glad I can leave you speechless when I go out there.
I'm just
Remember-
like, ah! Like that.
Remember,
Oh, that's messed up.
remember something. He is the sight to be seen.
The
The
sight
sight
to
to
be
see.
seen.
the sight to see.
And when I do see it, if you haven't seen it, you better be at our next show. Absolutely. But I've seen it, and it never gets old. It never gets old. You're one of the most exciting people to watch. And we just had Miles Hawkins here. You guys may have passed each other in the hallway. I'm not sure if you did.
yeah,
But
we passed each other.
Okay.
I saw him.
was there a glare?
I mean,
yeah.
I'll give him that. Like, he has kind of cool hair. You know, the braids are a little cool. I saw
Yeah.
those. I was like,
mean,
yo,
you
nice
rocking
hair,
the
bro.
curls right now.
I mean, yeah, dude, my hair is way cooler
you got
than
the
his.
you got the
but-
1999 JT Justin Timberlake going
yeah,
like that. I
yeah,
like it. I
bro.
like
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you. Seeing that.
We like to take. But while he was in here, he said a few things, and we asked. Of course, the topic on everyone's minds is whether you two will ever come head to head. And we were like, "Hey, is that going to be a challenge, Miles? Are you making a challenge?" And what he said was he could challenge me. That's how it is. He can come to me. He can find me. He knows where I'm gonna be.
He
in
said I can
Millersville.
challenge him.
He said you can come to
He said
him.
you can find him.
That's right.
actually,
Put the ball in your court.
Hey, I mean, I look at it like this. Like, if he wants to try to, like, make a name for himself in here, who better to do it than me, right?
Wow.
Come after Action, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bring it to you, you know?
You
So,
bring it.
if Miles says I have to come for him, whatever. You can take that however you want. But if he wants to, you know, try to get in the ring with me, I'm going to bring him a fight, dude. I'm bringing it. I ain't laying back. You know, he's the new chipper on the block. He calls himself the Golden Boy.
Yeah.
He's got his little clipboard he carries around
wow.
because he's what? He's got the certificate. Why does he have a clipboard, right? What different thing did he do than everybody else who's graduated from MCW?
Okay. Let's back up for just a second. All right.
I mean, when I stepped in there with him in that Rumble, I did learn that Hawkins is an athlete, and you know he's good in the ring. You know, he can bring it. I walked down that ramp, and the first guy I saw waiting in that ring for me was him. So, you know, we went in there and we brought it to each other. And, you know, I give it to him. He's got some skill in there, but if he wants to step into the ring with me and go one-on-one, like I said, I'm bringing him a fight.
From what he said, it seemed like he was actually waiting for you because he said, you know, he let us know that he's been in the school and he's been like, he was a little perturbed that you got to the school after he did, but you got your opportunities first. But he said he wanted to use that, and that was going to help him build his confidence. So that's not exactly out of the realm of possibility that he was actually waiting for you when you came down that ramp.
But also, let's back up for just a second. You mentioned him and his clipboard.
Yeah.
So just to clarify.
Yeah, clarify me, Tara.
That's not a clipboard.
Not a clipboard.
It is actually his official certified plaque that he has earned, and he has proclaimed that he is the highest paid MCW student graduate.
The
so,
highest paid student graduate. Ooh.
Okay, well,
Okay, all right.
okay,
You know
so-
what? He's made a great accomplishment in training through here at the MCW school. But like I said, what difference has he done than all of us other students who became actual competitors on the MCW shows who trained here in MCW? You know, the rest of us, we were all in here busting his tail just like he was. Why does he need a little pretty little plaque? Or why does he need to carry that thing around, you know? So maybe I'll just take it from him and hit him in the head with it. You know?
Oh.
You know, maybe.
Incredibly violent. But
Wow.
Hey, man, that's why I'm a wrestler. You know?
that's
I do
name
like
of
to
the
get
game.
violent sometimes.
name of the game.
I mean, you know, one has to wonder him carrying it into the ring and stuff if he's going to be, you know, doing that as well. But,
I don't need a plaque, you know.
Okay, or a clipboard.
Or yeah, I don't need a plaque, a clipboard, a trophy, none of that. You know, I just come in the ring ready to fight. You know,
Okay.
I paid my ways in here just like he did. You know, and I just come in and I bring it. I don't come out, you know, carrying any little special toy with me.
Okay, so you're not interested in a plaque, so let me assume that you must be interested in some gold, correct?
Oh my God! I mean, your boy Andretti would look good with some gold around his waist. Come on, wouldn't I?
Hey, man, it'll match the hair.
It matches the hair, the golden hair, the gold around the waist, you know, pop off the gear. Yeah. No, I'm definitely going to be chasing after some titles here in MCW for sure.
All right, well, tell us about your strategy. What do you see, what do you see in your future here in MCW?
Well, I mean, I was almost the first ever, if I'm not mistaken, single tag team champion here in MCW until that dork and clown Ellsworth came in and ruined my whole match. Am I right? Like I had.
That was a big possibility. That I mean, I don't know the history books as much as you
I
do.
had Bro and Joe in the bag, and then
Yeah.
this guy came in. Like, you know, I tagged him in because it was kind of in the heat of the moment. I didn't know I was.
It was like natural because you're a
Yeah.
wrestler.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see a guy on the apron, you tag him in when you're in trouble.
Yeah.
John, why don't you, will you fill us in on that for our fans who maybe our listeners who haven't watched that
Yeah,
match?
fill us-
Can we get a
fill us
little
in.
backstory
Fill
there
us
on
in,
that?
John.
for Resurrection,
Mhm.
and you were out there. You challenged Bro Keller, Joe Keys, Seduce and Destroy.
Mhm.
You challenged them after they interrupted your match with Leo Rush, Breakthrough Episode 3.
Interrupted. They attacked us from behind and left us almost dead in the ring.
Mm.
I mean, they were pretty brutal in there. So
Yeah.
and I was pretty pissed off about that.
I don't doubt that. That was a dream match that they wrote.
As was Leo, yeah. So
But you challenged them. You said you didn't need a partner,
Yeah.
and you stuck by your word. You went out there. You didn't have a partner. You took it to him, and then Ellsworth just decided, hey, I'm gonna quote help out this kid. So,
help. Yeah,
Yeah.
quote, help. He helped me, all right.
Oh man. So I'm gonna jump back to Miles Hawkins real quick if I can.
Are you asking permission?
Yes.
Yeah, let's
I'm a
jump.
guest. I'm not a guest to talk, but I'm a guest to talk.
Let's jump back
So,
to the
yeah,
clipboard
so
athletic guy.
I made I like making comparisons. I made one earlier in the first segment with Joe Keys, but I'm gonna make one with you.
Who'd you compare Joe to?
Well, it wasn't like compared to him, but like the situation was more of like the
Okay.
fed up and everything.
I hate
But
Joe Keys, by the way.
Well,
I don't
you
like
know,
that dude.
He well, there's a lot of people he don't like that he talked about in the beginning, but
Yeah.
but like the comparison I want to talk about with you and Miles, right? Like I'm a huge gamer, right?
Yeah.
Ken and Ryu. When I look at you guys, it's like it's almost looking like not exactly the same person. You guys have your moves, but you can both definitely do the same thing. There's like if you play that game of horse with certain moves, you both guys got it. But it's
Yeah.
like, but you both have your specialty. What I see with him is that elbow drop. What do you think? What do you think is like your specialty when it comes to that?
Dude, I have so many
Oh, I
specialties,
know. I can tell. That's why I'm here.
bro. And like, part of me doesn't even want to like give them away because there's
Yeah.
more in the bag I haven't even pulled out yet. You know,
Leave some to the imagination.
dude. Yeah, I got a bag full of tricks. So
Well, it's
Yeah,
interesting
it's
that you say that, considering the fact that he said, and I quote, "Anything you can do, I can do better."
He did.
anything
true.
you can do, I
There's the song. I was
singing
waiting
it.
to song with me sung today.
And-
Oh.
And I was having this moment, like I was singing it and nobody like responded. So I was like, am I just like the only one who knows that song? But I feel so much better now that you've sung
good.
it. Thank
good.
you.
I'm glad I can make you feel better.
I
about it.
feel validated now. Thank
Right,
you.
but with that
Um,
comparison though,
yeah.
still in place, it's like, if and when you two finally do have to stand across from each other, is
Mhm.
this going to be like a matter of respect? Because we know that Miles is very confident, sometimes overconfident.
Sometimes over.
But you got that air too. I see it. I see it in your eyes.
I mean, I'm just having fun, you know.
Yeah.
I don't got to be harsh about things though. You know,
Okay.
I still do it with a smile on my face. He does it just to be, cocky and arrogant.
Because he feels like he has to. That's how you feel. That's why he's like
yeah,
that.
pretty much. Yeah, I can see that.
One of the things that I would say is similar about both of you is that you make it look pretty easy. And
Yes.
that your athleticism and your flippiness, for lack of a better word,
Flippiness.
has really caught on with the fans. And they
Tara,
recognize that.
Did you ever jump on trampolines as a kid?
Yes.
Did you do flips on them?
Yes.
Okay, that's how I learned how to do all my stuff.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
No. Well, what I'm trying to
love
say is
trampolines.
A
that
little hint of how you can, become
Well,
like
you know-
It's a
Action
way.
Andretti.
we had
it's a
Matt
move.
Hardy on the podcast last week, and he was
Matt Hardy is awesome. He was such a cool guy.
And, he got his start with trampoline wrestling. He had a whole
Yeah.
trampoline federation.
Yup.
That was his early stuff. He actually sent in a tape to WCW, I believe, of him and Jeff Hardy and their trampoline championship
Yeah.
wrestling federation. So
Matt and Jeff, I look up to them so much.
Okay, well,
Legends.
I was going
Legendary
to ask
dudes.
you role models, but
Oh,
that makes
absolutely.
perfect sense.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
heard you guys talking about it. I think it was on the podcast that he was on. Like you were talking about
Mhm.
the pop they had from WrestleMania.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Bruh.
It's huge.
It was pretty
Bruh.
intense.
Chills,
I mean,
chills down
was-
the
and
arms.
I've been to a lot of big pay-per-views. I've been to multiple WrestleManias,
Yeah.
and that blew me away. I
Yeah.
mean, it was maybe because it was personal because I know them, so maybe it was that, but it was just it
No,
was
it
the
was
whole arena
everything.
shook.
It
Could
was
you imagine
everything.
how loud it would have been if there was a roof on that building?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I was all the way at the top too.
Mhm.
So I mean, and it was the stands were shaking. It was
If
great.
there was a roof on the building,
No,
they-
it was outdoors.
but if there was a roof on the building, they would have made it fly off.
Yeah.
The roof would have just
Absolutely.
completely
It was people
not
lost
been
their
connected
mind.
to
Yeah.
the building anymore.
They definitely. So did their style of wrestling influence you?
For sure. Yeah.
So you were a lifelong fan then? You've
yeah.
always okay.
Oh my god! I used to watch those guys. Like, yeah, I would go to shows and see them. I would
Mhm.
definitely have some Jeff Hardy bands on. You know.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I loved both of them when they were both when Matt had the ECW championship and Jeff had the WWE championship.
hmm
That was awesome.
Good stuff.
Good times of
Good stuff.
wrestling.
Wow.
Good times.
Well, I would say fans are definitely impressed by the mark that they and others have made on you, and your athleticism and your technical skills and things like that, and that you are able to do the cool moves and stuff like that.
yeah.
Is that something like when you got into wrestling, when you came to the training center, you got to start at square one. You got to start with the basics. You're not even taking a bump in the ring
Mhm.
the first night or the second night.
Yeah.
You got to do the classic stuff.
Mhm.
Like, did you know that would ultimately be your style? Like that you would be, a flippy guy? Like, is that what you saw yourself becoming?
I totally did, but like coming into it, but then being here after like 3 to 6 months and not doing any of it,
Right.
because I wasn't like
Right.
I wasn't pulling none of that stuff out.
Yeah.
Like till like 9 months of being here,
Mhm.
like my coaches asked me, Dean and RJ, like what flips can you do? What type of style do you have? What can you do? And I was like, I can do everything. And then they looked at me like, what? What, kid? You can do everything? And then I was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, let's go see. And we went to the ring, and I just
Mhm.
started doing my thing, and they were like, whoa, we didn't know you had that. But yeah, like the first like several months of training, like I said, like 3 to 6, or like it took me 9 to 10 months of training to get on a show.
Mm-hmm.
Just about. I think
Which
it was
is
like
really
10 months.
fast, actually, for our listeners who don't know how the training process works. That's
Yeah.
really, really fast.
Yeah, I've had a
You
couple friends get on quicker, but yeah.
All right,
fairly
I
quick.
got on quicker. I just want to throw that out
Yeah.
there. I got on quicker.
Oh,
I
second
started
time
in-
we've heard that
I
tonight.
started in August,
that
and
the
I was
second
on a
time you heard
show by
that?
December.
Yeah, because Miles
so-
said it first about you.
Oh,
So you're like, yeah, man, these dudes getting those quick too. What the hell?
yeah. I mean,
I think he's a little miffed, actually,
It's-
that you got on a little bit faster than him.
it's great competition to be around,
Mhm.
It's
It
good.
fuels the fire, man.
Yeah, that's what we want in here, That's what we want in this business, to fuel each other.
It is highly competitive.
Yeah.
For our listeners that don't know, we have a training center, and we, our students move through here with the eventual goal of being placed on MCW shows. But on any given show, there's 8 or 9 matches, so everybody isn't going to get a spot. So
Yeah.
Yep.
we've had. The last year and a half, I would say, has been the best crop of students like I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And, there's so much hunger and desire and passion and love for the business.
Mhm.
Like, it's highly competitive. Like, I cannot stress this enough. So, not only do you have to be the best that you can possibly be, but you've got to stand out. And I think that that's what the fans really love about your style, is that it is different
Mhm.
and it shows this other side of you, and it makes you different from everybody else that's walking through the curtain.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's funny you say about standing out, because like even here at training, like, we have a lot of people here at this school training. There's like anywhere from 30 to 50 people here sometimes,
Yeah.
And I remember like when I was first starting out, like I wanted to do something to stand out in practice. And we were doing the grape squisher drills where, you're doing the high knees and then dropping down. And like it's a crazy hard conditioning drill.
Absolutely.
And I knew like once I did that, I was like, I need to go so hard in this and just show like Bruiser and Dean that I can go. And I remember that was the first time Bruiser ever like recognized me when I was like first starting out doing those
Yeah.
grape squisher drills. Like he was like, "What's your name, kid? What's your name?" And I was like, "Tyler." And he's like, "Good stuff, Tyler. Everybody work hard like Tyler doing these grape squishers." So I was going in. You do the high knees, drop down and get up. I try exploding up,
Oh man,
Helps me in the ring too, having that good stamina, you
Yeah.
gotta have that good
Well,
stamina.
conditioning is such an important part of training,
It
Yeah.
is,
and it's not something that most people walk in the door having, even if they're, any other kind of athlete or whatever, but when they walk in the door and they start training as a professional wrestler, the conditioning that you have to do is so much different than any other sport out there.
Yeah.
And to be honest, most of them don't make it. They're not successful. And, you've proven that, not only can you be successful, but you can exceed expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right. Well,
For sure.
just real quick, one last question for you, Action. We
Hit
talked
me.
about Miles. Is there anyone else that you have had your sights on in this company?
Has the sight to see had his sights on anybody else?
It has the sight to see,
I
had
mean,
his
yeah.
sights on anyone else?
Because I was going to bring that up too. You've been in the ring with Brandon Scott. You've been in the ring with Dante, with King McBride,
Yep.
Leo Rush.
Rhett Titus, when he was champion,
Mhm.
you were in
Yes.
there. You were in there.
Yep.
So it's like,
been in there with Ken,
Joe Keys.
Joe Keys, Bro Keller. Those guys, all those guys we just mentioned too, like those are the guys that are some real athletes doing this thing. Like
Yeah.
those are the guys that take this serious, as serious as I do. And, as, much of like Bruiser would say turds that those guys are, some of them, like
yeah.
I respect them. I respect what they do in this business because they are some BA wrestlers,
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, for like stepping in the ring with anybody else here in MCW, man, I just want that full Brian Johnson, man. That guy,
Ooh.
he's a
You're the
punk.
Man.
Brian Johnson is a punk.
wow.
Like again, I respect what he's got his thing going on in Ring of Honor. He's crushing it there. He's been with some big names and stuff, but like, dude's always taking the easy way out of situations, and he's just a scumbag.
Wow.
Had to lean into the mic
Brian's
for that
list
one.
of enemies is growing.
It
Not
really
this
is.
Brian,
I was
but
gonna
this
say,
next.
I saw him carry his little flag when he won the title in that Rumble. Like, man, who do you think you are, man? This is
He's Mecca versus
I
everyone.
was gonna
Yeah.
say Mecca versus everybody. It's
This
ringing
is-
true.
Yeah, you think a plaque is bad? He brings out the whole flag. He's like, hey,
man.
making
Well,
that
now he doesn't need a
declaration.
plaque. He has the championship belt.
That's
This is
right.
true.
Look, I was pretty pissed off when this was the Bruiser show, his Rumble that we had, and Brian Johnson, the way he went about winning that thing is just like, come on, man. That's not how you win that match,
Right.
Like, how about you be a stand-up guy and win it, fair and square in the middle of the ring? But yeah, I definitely got my eyes set on that guy. He's definitely one on the list. He might be number one.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Kakoa's
At
kind of
one time, he
Kakoa's
was number one.
Yeah, I think he still has it on his knee pads.
I think yeah.
He likes to pull guys' knee pads down. I see too. If he pulls my knee pad down, I'm gonna knee him directly in the jaw.
Well,
All right. Well,
that is something to look out
Calling
for.
it shot.
That's
Hey, if I
fair
see it, I will
warning.
call it.
I
So-
do wear my knee pads outside my pants. Some guys wear their
Yeah.
knee pads.
No,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if he touches my knee pads, yeah, he's gonna like get a knee.
Get
to
a
the-
one right to the jaw.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
those are some harsh words
I
for
dare
him.
you to pull my knee pad down, Brian Johnson. You heard
Right
it here
here.
first.
You heard it here first,
You heard
Mecca.
it here first on the
Mecca, you heard
MCW podcast. Pull my knee down, fam.
Know what to
Well,
Oh, my
those are
God.
strong words for Brian Johnson, but do you have any similar words for Miles Hawkins? Because, I mean, he was on the segment before you, and he was talking a lot of smack about you.
Was he?
He kind of
Oh,
was, yeah. I mean, wasn't
Is
he?
he a good
Yeah,
smack
like,
talker?
Yeah, he's decent.
I mean, I think he said something like, he's so much better than you, like, it's barely even a contest if you were to
Okay.
face each other. I mean,
So-
I heard that. Did you hear that?
Oh,
I think I heard that.
sure.
Yeah. I'm sure, but what do you think about that? Yeah.
So when it comes to guys, me personally, right? Check this. When it comes to guys that just, talk smack, eventually you just have to smack them, Forget the talking smack. How about we get a smack to the face? All right. Like if that's how
Okay.
if he's just gonna like put me down and say, oh, I'm this and that, then let's fight. Let's throw hands then. Let's see what you got. I want to see what the little golden boy of MCW has. Those pretty
That
little
sounds like a challenge to me.
those pretty
heard it.
those pretty little braids I mentioned earlier.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'll just grab him by those pretty little braids and I'll show his ugly face to everybody in the MCW crowd.
Ooh.
And then I'll just start laying them in on him,
Jeez, this
Some-
is
Definitely
some-
a challenge.
Sometimes those smack talkers, like I said, you just gotta smack them and put them in their place. So, hey, we'll see what happens.
do what you gotta do.
We'll see. Like,
All right.
yeah, don't take disrespect, people. All right.
It's fine advice
Don't
Well.
for the
take disrespect.
world.
Unless if you're in school, then tell the teacher. But besides that, if you're in a wrestling ring, yeah, do what I said. Grab them by their stupid braids and show them their stupid face to everybody in the crowd and lay them in there.
All right. Well, maybe you'll get that chance at one of our upcoming shows. Remember, the next one is October 16th in Millersville as part of Celeb Fest 2,
Celeb Fest.
along with the
Millersville.
kickoff of our Autumn Armageddon tour. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, on behalf of the MCW cast, I want to thank you, Action Andretti, for joining us here tonight and
Thank you
sharing a
for
little
having me.
insight with our
Thank you.
fans.
Yo,
Thank you. We'll bring you back in,
Yeah, bring me back.
later for a longer segment.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Get to know you a little bit more. All
Yo,
right.
wait, before we close out,
Yeah.
can we all like flex our muscles on 3? Ready?
I gotta take my shirt off.
Yeah, take your shirt off, Deacon. Let's see those guns. I'm gonna
mean-
do the countdown or count up, I guess.
Wait, oh, you know what? Oh, out there in the room, there's one of those little muscle costumes. You can put that on under your shirt if you
Is
want
that
to.
the
We'll
one?
save that for
Yeah,
we'll save
wait.
that for the
We'll
next time. I
We'll
come.
wait.
Okay,
We'll wait.
all right, ready?
Okay,
Let's
'cause
flex
we don't
these
want
bad
you to
boys.
be unprepared.
I'm not gonna lie. I was hitting some bicep curls before this interview, so like, yeah, I want to show the people what. I got
Okay,
going
why
on.
don't we just let you do the?
No, come on. Let's do it
okay.
together. Let's do it
Already
together. On 3. Ready? 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Zoom in on them babies. Zoom in on.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been
All
working
right.
hard. All
My
of us.
man, my man. I
All
like it.
right.
Yeah. Really, the costume muscles are in the bin out
Why
the
are you
door.
submitting
So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
you
What
No,
did I
should-
next
do?
time
maybe you
definitely
should
bring
look
this
into
out.
that. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
and-
Thank you for having our muscle off there. I wanted to
Hell
do that
yeah.
to end it. Yeah. Miles Hawkins, bro, you're going to get the work. If you want it, I'm going to give it to you, man. Plain and simple like that. And like I said, Brian Johnson, he can sure get it too.
Give him that work.
All right, fans. Well, there you have it. Straight from Action Andretti.
Show your support for the MCW Cast while sporting some great gear by going to teespring.com/stores/MCWcast. You can pick up a full line of official MCW Cast merchandise, from coffee mugs and face coverings to t-shirts and sweatshirts. Visit teespring.com/stores/MCWcast. Fuel the MCW Cast by visiting buymeacoffee.com/MCWcast. And for just $3, you can buy the cast a coffee. Or you can choose to become a member of the cast for just $5 a month and get several additional perks. That's buymeacoffee.com/MCWcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the MCW Cast. There was some great interviews we had today. But before I talk about those, I'm going to talk about myself and you guys, Deacon Storm, the director, John Rollins, and the lovely Tara. This was really fun tonight.
Well, we're glad you enjoyed yourself.
I did. This is good stuff.
Good. Well, it's nice to get you out from behind the commentator's table and sit you at this table.
Yeah.
And of course, it's always a pleasure to have John out from behind the director's table.
Yeah, sending you notes about dates and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will. So whenever I am referencing something very specific date-wise on the podcast, I will confess that it is not coming out of my head. It is 100% John messaging me, and I am checking my watch, and then I suddenly pipe up with the exact date of whatever show we are talking about, which I can assure you I do not actually know. So I'm just throwing that out there. I've had a lot of concussions, okay? So, dates and names are not something that I'm strong with.
I was going to say, both of you guys have been dropped in your head a little
Oh,
bit
a
more
lot.
than I have.
Exactly.
I got 450 me on my face. So, yeah, I've had some concussions, too.
Gosh, that makes so much sense now.
I almost cursed.
Yeah,
I almost cursed.
it.
Oh, man. I've been choking on this water. Moving on.
So
yeah.
we all have a lot of fun here, but we're all part of a team, and we all have lots of different roles, and we all do lots of things. So I'm happy that two of our generally unseen people are getting some time out here in front for our fans so that they can recognize some of the hard work that you both do. So
Tara, thank you so much. For
I
doing
am.
that.
I
thank
can
you.
be nice. I didn't tell you to talk yet. I didn't give you permission, actually. So I'll give you a cue when it's your turn. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we have a lot of upcoming shows because if you are a longtime MCW fan, we do this crazy Autumn Armageddon tour every year. So John, why don't you tell us what we've got lined up for our fans that they can check out?
have coming up in Millersville, October 16th, Autumn Armageddon. We also have October 29th, probably going to be Autumn Armageddon as well. Then we also have Shamrock, November 12th, Friday, November 12th. Day right after, Autumn Armageddon continues in Hollywood, November 13th. And finally, we cap everything off, December 4th, Toys for Tots.
That's right. How excited are you to go back to Hollywood?
Oh, it's been way too long.
It has been so long. We were due to go to Hollywood when everything was canceled. That was our next show up, and we were told, hey, and Dan's talked about this on other episodes before, that we were told, hey, we're not going to be able to have the show, and everybody was kind of like, wait, what? What do you mean we're not going to have the show? And we have missed our Hollywood fans. So I know we have some of our Hollywood fans who are regular listeners of the cast. Yeah. And I just want to say we are as excited to come back and see you all on November 13th as you are to have us come back and see you. So we are really looking forward to it. If you've never been to a Hollywood show, you should make the drive. It's really not that far. And the crowd is just great.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we got to make sure Becky's there because she's going to have to stun somebody, right?
Well, maybe. I mean, I've been on the receiving end of, some of Becky's antics in Hollywood, so maybe she should just do her job and officiate.
Nice job,
so,
DK.
Hey, first off,
thanks for bringing that up and reminding me.
I was
really
there,
appreciate
and that was your fault. Okay,
No,
He is not wrong.
No, she just needs to referee. That's it. Like, there's no reason why we should have had any kind of altercation. So no.
I mean,
You say that she should referee, as in referee fairly?
Well, yeah.
Then you deserved it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be
Anyway,
fair,
you know what? I was just thinking we should tell our fans how they can get tickets. Yeah, that was a segue.
yeah,
See?
because I was about to start talking about your ex-boyfriend. So anyway, let's talk about how.
No.
Let's talk about how to get tickets.
We are done. Wow. Wow. We are done. So I'm going to talk about how we're going to get tickets because that's how we do things here. know your place.
Sorry.
All right. So if you want to get tickets to any of our upcoming shows, including our next one, October 16th, that includes Celeb Fest. So you can go to our website, mcwprowrestling.com. You'll see all the upcoming events there. They are not all posted yet. We're just giving you a sneak peek at some of them. The link to get your tickets to Celeb Fest is there as well. You can also go to our local ticket outlet reseller, which is at Hideaway Collectibles, Hideaway Collectibles. It's on Hollibird Avenue in lovely Dundalk, right up the street from Jimmy's Famous Seafood, one of our favorite dining establishments, home of the Bruiser Burger, of course.
Delicious.
You can also visit hideawaycollectibles.com, where you can get all of your collectibles, your Funko Pops, your memorabilia, and wrestling knickknacks and what have you. So, if you're looking for hard to find things, and I say this all the time, but you never know who we are going to bring in and when. So I know AEW's been releasing a lot of their series and their action figures. You might want to stock up on some of these things. You know, you might want to grab some Funkos because you just never know. I would say take a look at the lineup for Celeb Fest 2 and see if there's anybody that you are interested in meeting and getting an autograph. And then you can just head over to Hideaway Collectibles, grab your souvenir, and then take it and go get it autographed. So pretty cool.
A couple signatures, maybe a picture with the person for authenticity.
And Brian, I just want you to know
I swear to
that
God.
I will give you a discounted rate on my personal 8x10 and autograph, okay? I'm going to give you a discounted rate because I know you're such a fanboy, and I know you don't want to admit it, but I will absolutely hook you up with that, okay? Because I just want you to know I'm there for you.
Are you okay with that? You cool with that? Okay.
That's twice now. It's Deacon.
I know she's doing it on purpose.
Yes.
Can we? Are we done, guys? This has been a great podcast.
It has.
It really
been lots
has.
of
It's
fun.
really
And,
good.
you know, we're a dysfunctional family, but, you know, we all really do love each other, and we're happy to have spent the last hour and a half with all of our fans. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.